欢迎来到我的中文 update. Today I'm actually going to speak in English and I'm going to talk about my trip to Taiwan. That's right, in winter I went on a trip to Taiwan for about 9 days and it was awesome. So let me tell you all about it by showing you my pictures here. So first we have this picture. It says Mofu Sand. I don't know what that comes from. Maybe it's the name of the cats. This is actually the railway pass that I used while in Taiwan. So they didn't have like an app or anything. Instead, you had to buy like a card or like a keychain. In my case, I bought the cute kitty keychain, of course. And I used that, and you can load money on it and scan it in order to get to the railways and take public transportation. Here's a shot of a random street that I took of while in Taiwan. You can see it's got that real Asian style, and everything's written in Chinese, of course. Here is what I saw when I first landed down. Now, I heard that Taiwan was actually big on motorbikes, but seeing it in person is an entirely different thing. Like, holy crap, they have a lot of motorcyclists everywhere, and you see something like this all over the place, just street parking of motorcycles. And in fact, most sidewalks were also covered, like half of the sidewalks were taken up by parked motorbikes. Like, they were just everywhere. It's kind of interesting, actually, although it smelled terrible. This is something I found on the first day walking around. So there's a nearby park where I was just kind of exploring, and I found that there was some type of dog show competition, which was interesting. So I stayed around for like an hour or so and took some pictures of it. You can see here they have a well-designed billboard that I quite enjoy. There are some mascot characters wearing the costumes, and you can see that there's like a little bit of a race course here. They have the spots where the dog has to wiggle between the cones and jump over the various barriers. I didn't actually see any dogs do that though. I think maybe they got there too late. Yeah, you can see there's the start sign and a cute little dog with his number on it, and it was all very exciting and cute. Hi. Another shot of the race course. Here's another shot of the park. You can see the trees clearly are bending in one particular direction. Danger. Deep water. So this was my first visit to the Xinmengding night market, which was honestly one of the best night markets there. Luckily for me, it was close by and I went there all the time. Yeah, you can get a lot of good stuff, such as this beef that they'd cut for you, salt, season, and you could choose your seasonings, etc. And they roast it with the flame over that grill. It was so good and very cheap too. Another picture of the beef. I forget which sauce I got. I think this was like a soy sauce or teriyaki sauce or something. I just asked whatever he recommended and I went with that. Here's another picture of entering the Xinmengding night market. Xinmengding. Anyways, you can see it was it had these decorations with these lights hanging over top. It was beautiful. It was an interesting place. No, I really enjoyed being there. And it was very active. It was always crowded, no matter what time I went. Another picture of the Xinmengding night market. Here's a picture of some of the food stalls that were set up. Obviously, these are some of the more permanent ones, but they have all kinds of food stalls, options, and things. You just walk around, buy a little bit, eat, and keep walking. It's pretty incredible. Here's some type of dessert dish I got at the Xinmengding night market. I don't even remember what was in this, honestly, but I did not like this. Actually, I ate like a couple bites and tossed it. It basically just felt like yogurt with ice water. It wasn't for me. Here's one of the most famous things you can get at the Xinmengding night market. It's pounded chicken. This was basically about $3 US, and so you get this chicken that they pound flat and then double fry and put on some spices and seasoning. It's actually really, really good and super cheap, but it's pretty good, and it's a lot of meat. It's like even I had trouble finishing the whole thing, so I'm kind of surprised they sell such large quantities. But anyways, highly recommend it if you go. My pictures are out of order for some reason. I went hiking to Xiangshan Mountain. It's actually considered an easy hike. It's like a 20-minute hike or something. You just walk up some stairs, get to the top, and you get some nice views over Taipei, and you get to see, in this case, Taipei 101, which is that tall building you see over there. When Taipei 101 was built, it was the tallest skyscraper in the world. Nowadays, it's not anymore. I think that's taken over by Tokyo Skytree. When you go past Xiangshan, you can continue to Jiufen Peak, and there's a whole series of trails that continue for hours. I think I hiked for about 4 hours in total, and you get to see lots of things. I found this shrine in the middle of the mountains, which I thought was pretty cool. It's very historic and interesting and different from anything you see in the West. Just a picture during the hiking trail. Thought it was a nice view. They also had, every now and then, little gazebos like this. It just looks like a nice place to sit down and enjoy a nice cup of tea. Another gazebo that I found that looks maybe a little bit old, but I'm not complaining. This is a temple that was nearby one of the entrances to the trails. It had a do not enter sign, so I couldn't go any further. I guess it was under construction or something. But anyways, it looks pretty. One thing that surprised me about Taiwan is how many outdoor gyms they had. So, outdoor gym, like this sort of thing where you find like just 2 wooden bars with a pole across that you can like do pull-ups on. And they had all kinds of other things, like different levels of bars. They also had a lot of flat stone slabs with like a little prop that comes out to the side where you could like hold your feet and like do sit-ups on. Like they had these all over the place. And so not only that was amazing, like you find them in pretty much every single outdoor park. Like you'd be walking around through the city and you find a park, you'd find something like this, which I don't see in USA. We should have way more of these because they're cheap and they're awesome. But not only that, they had these on the hiking trail, like legit. I was on the hiking trail. This is the top of the mountain. I hiked like, by this point, maybe 45 minutes or so, and I found these. And even when I got to the very top of the mountain that I was hiking, I still found like the most well laid out outdoor gym I've ever seen. Yeah, that's really impressive and that's awesome. I mean, after you're done hiking for 2 hours, who doesn't want to do a couple pull-ups? This was at the entrance to the trail that I took. You can see like this little elephant carving, and there are a couple more elephants as well carved into the wall. Yeah, entrance to the trail. To me, it definitely looks like another country. I mean, I grew up in a mountainside forest. I know what forests look like, but this looks like a different kind of forest. This is what I had on the breakfast before I went to Shangshan. This was the highest point on the trail that I went to, and so I took a panoramic picture, and you can get a really nice view of Taipei 101, of Taipei, the city itself, and you can see like it's a pretty big size city. I don't think it's as big as Seoul or Tokyo. I could be wrong. I don't think it's as big as those two cities, but it makes up for it by the fact that it's surrounded by all these mountains and nature. Like it's pretty cool. It's like a nice combination between the two. And I went to Taipei 101 after this, and this was outside. They had a lot of decorations, including this like little arch wreath area that a lot of people were taking pictures in. They had this golden tree outside in the courtyard and a picture of Taipei 101 itself. This is a nice keto-friendly meal that I got while I lived there in Taipei. Another picture of the city street. Like I said, motorbikes are everywhere. Everywhere. They're just parked. Was some Christmas decorations while I was there, because I was there from, I remember the exact date, I think like the 15th to like the 27th of December. So during Christmas time, basically walking around, and I got to see some Christmas decorations, Christmas themed items. This was something that they were selling in the Red House. The Red House is an ancient cultural building in Taipei, and these Pico Baby is what they're called. Pico Baby are recycled electronics, because you know the semiconductor industry is famous in Taiwan. It's something they're very strong in, semiconductors, and as someone who works in that industry as well, of course I had to check out these souvenirs, and I actually bought one of them. Come on, don't lie to me, that's pretty cool, right? Look at this thing. It's so cute. Got the cowboy hat and the drum set and the guitarist, because you know I also have a drum set in my room. Where's my drum set? Oh, it's not visible in the camera. I actually haven't found a good place to put it in my room yet. I need to find a better spot for it. This is the Red House. Like I said, it's a very famous cultural building in Taipei. Apparently there are actually more than one Red Houses though, so be careful. That's happened to me earlier. I was trying to meet a friend at the Red House, and I ended up taking the wrong bus, and then I took the wrong bus again, and then I got mad, so I was like, alright, I'm just gonna walk it. It's only like 2 kilometers from here. So I basically half walk, half ran to the Red House because I was already running late. And apparently I went to the wrong one, which was about 5 kilometers away from the one I wanted to go to. And so that was an interesting morning. Yeah, the bus routes are not easy to figure out in Taiwan. More often than not, I think I went the wrong way the first time. Yeah, good luck with that. Google Maps isn't very helpful either. Google Maps like says like, oh, this Buns Road's at like 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, whatever, and you get there and it's like, sorry, it only comes twice a day. I'm like, what do you mean Google Maps? Like, why are you telling me these wrong things? Do not rely on Google Maps whenever you go there. Try to find the local Taiwan app, which I don't remember what it is, but there is like a local Taiwan thing which has more accurate bus times. Honestly, the best thing you can do is probably just go to the bus stop that you want to go and scan the QR code, because it tells you like the accurate bus times that are in the expected schedule. Like that's the best thing you can do. No, this is like a random street market that I passed by whenever I went to Taiwan. Again, a nice keto-friendly meal with sesame coffee. This is honestly one of the favorite things that I've eaten while at Taiwan. These candied strawberries are unbelievably good, and I mean like unbelievably good. So what they do is they take the fresh fruit and I guess they glaze it in sugar or some kind of sugary confection, and serve it to you, and you get it, and it is crunchy but juicy. You have the cold fruit, like the fruit is still kind of cold on the inside, but whenever they just glaze it, it's hot, so you get like a hot crunch with a cold juicy inside. So the texture combination is unreal. It's so good. And then of course the flavor, I mean fresh strawberries plus a little bit of sugar, you can't go wrong. Like these things were exceptional. And they had these not only for strawberries, for all kinds of fruit. They had grapes, they had plums, they had tomato. And tomato is also like just as good as the strawberries, because it had the sugar but also that tartness. Like I highly recommend trying these things. I forget the name of this burger joint, but you saw them all over the place, and I decided to try it, and it was actually pretty good. Similar to Japan, you saw the crane games everywhere. Like literally every block or every other couple blocks, you'll find just like a random, basically abandoned crane area because almost no one ever goes in them, from what I saw. I mean, usually the people who go in them are like taking smoke breaks or just chilling or getting out of like the weather. But this one in particular was one of the cleaner ones I saw. Yeah, honestly, most of those places were pretty dirty. Like you didn't really want to go in. They didn't look healthy. This is one of the cleaner ones I saw, and it had all these decorations out front, so it was pretty cute. This was another hiking trail I went on with a friend that I met while there in Taiwan. Hey buddy, if you're watching this, how you doing? Yeah, this is actually the end of the trail. Once again, my pictures are out of order for some reason. I don't think it's active volcano, but it's like a hike up a volcano. But we couldn't see it because it was freaking pouring that day. Yeah, the pictures do not capture the conditions that well at all. Like, the rain was coming down hard and the wind was blowing. It was a very interesting experience. Qixing Main Pink almost made it. This is, again, on the way there, we found a nice little outdoor picnic area. Not that you'd want to take a picnic in these conditions, probably. This picture somewhat shows the wind conditions on the trail. Pretty windy. We couldn't really get great views because of the weather, but it was still very interesting. So a little bit later, we went to Tam Sui. A little bit later, we went to go see the ocean at Tam Sui, and this is the Tam Sui Pier. There's an old war fort that's kind of nearby. I had no idea what this building was, but it was on the way, and we checked it out, and it looked pretty cool. Another picture of that building from further away. It was very fancy. Like, it seemed like some sort of like temple. I mean, obviously the temple for something, but I don't know what. There, proof I was there. Even wearing the same jacket. This is a random picture at the university that we stopped by on the way to Tam Sui. Picture of the university courtyard. It's pretty interesting. Picture of me with Fisherman's Wharf behind me. And what appears to be Taiwan's Disneyland. No, I'm joking. I have no idea what that blue building is. Picture of Fisherman's Wharf. Picture of the ocean. Actually, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to swim in the ocean all year round. I think it's banned due to the fact that they have really strong waves and, I don't know, another picture of the ocean. This was a picture of the museum that I went to later, the National Palace Museum. This is one of the more interesting pieces I saw there. Although honestly, I didn't spend a whole lot of time and look at a lot of things there. I was pretty tired by that point. Some little matcha ice cream I got, which was meh. Tam Sui Pier. Beef noodle. First time I had it and it was okay. Another picture from the National Palace Museum. Some ancient swords. Looks like an ancient Go table inset from the National Palace. Do you want to play? Buddha statue of the National Palace Museum. Picture of the Tam Sui Beach and Fisherman's Wharf area. I love looking at the ocean. I mean, I don't know, I just get relaxed by just watching the waves roll. Panoramic picture of the area. I think it's beautiful. Another picture of Christmas decorations. Lego Santa and Lego area. This was a cheesecake that I bought in the Taipei 101 food court, and gotta say, it was pretty good. This was chicken sesame rice. This is a traditional Taiwanese dish, actually. This is one thing I got at a random grab and go shop, but I'm told that it's something that they eat during winter times because it's kind of warming on the inside. It was good. Oh, this is a picture that sent me later. Picture of me hiking that trail and the raincoat doing absolutely nothing. There, proof I hiked. Taipei 101 Tea Shop Center. Teppanyaki is basically like a stir-fry dish in Taiwan. This was a steak and salmon teppanyaki dish. Gotta say, setting aside the fact that I'm allergic to black pepper, but was eating it anyway because I'm on vacation and just trying new things and enjoying myself. They put like 4 times too much black pepper on. Like, I honestly could eat like maybe half the dish and I was like, no more, I'm sorry. But this is just, it looks good though. It looks really good and photogenic, but I cannot recommend this teppanyaki dish, I'm sorry. I got this at a random local restaurant near Xinmending. It was called Taiwanese breakfast. I don't remember exactly what was in this Taiwanese breakfast dish, but it looks like some type of vegetable pancake, some kind of pork, a starchy tofu. Like, it wasn't quite tofu, but it was like a bready tofu. I don't know. It was okay. Here, picture of these, again, these fruit sticks that, again, highly recommend. Grapes, tomatoes, plums, strawberries in this variation. This was crab meat on a stick. Raohe Street Market. Perhaps one of the most famous ones. So one thing I noticed about these different street markets is they all have their own vibes, and there's a lot of shops that are kind of similar that you can find in each, but they also have their own unique vibes. Raohe definitely had the best sausage that I've had like in my entire life, honestly. Not just in Taiwan, like all the sausages I ate in Taiwan were amazing. In fact, they were so good that whenever I came back to the US, I tried a bunch of different sausages. I was like, I don't remember eating this much sausage before. I remember them being this good. And I came back and ate a bunch of different sausages. I was like, oh yeah, this is why I don't eat them in the US. They suck. Now, sausages here really aren't that good, but God, the sausages in Taiwan are so good. I don't know why. Random picture outside Raohe Street Market. There's a nice fancy building that I think is a restaurant of some kind. Similar thing. This is just some random temple I found while walking around. Escargot. Mini sausages. Raohe Street Market. This is what like a lot of street markets look like. It's crowded, you got stalls everywhere, and you're walking around trying to find a trash can, trying to eat and eat all kinds of different good food. It's a great time. Durian with cheese. I did not try it. I was not brave enough to try it. I wanted to, I just couldn't find the opportunity. See, the thing that I feared was that at these night markets, it's actually really hard to find a trash can. Like sometimes they have them at the front entrance, but like not all of them did. Like in one case, I forget which one, actually it might have been Rauhe. Like the first thing I got when I walked in was dumplings with sauce. And so I ate the dumplings with sauce and then I carried them around with me in my hand in that box. And when I finished eating, I was like, okay, I couldn't find any trash can. And then I just carried it and walked. And then I found out like 10 minutes later, like, oh, wait a minute, there's sauce leaking from the corner of the box all over my pants, which were the new pants that I bought while in Taiwan, in fact, which by the way, I couldn't get those stains out. So I just ended up throwing those pants away. Great. Bye-bye Taiwan pants. Yeah, long story short, I had sticky hands and stained pants, and I walked around with that for like over an hour because you basically can't find trash cans. I don't know what's going on. Next time I was more prepared. I brought a bag with me to carry things around in, but it's really hard to find those. So the reason I'm telling the story is because if I did not like eating the durian is well renowned for being strong smelling. And so I didn't want to just carry that around with me for like an hour or so, smelling it and ruining my appetite for everything else I was going to try eating. So I did not take the opportunity to try durian. No. Same thing goes for stinky tofu. Tou tofu. Oh my god, that was so stinky. Like you could smell it literally a block away. It smelled like rotting garbage, straight up rotting garbage. I was not brave enough to try. Later on, I was with some Taiwanese friends and they did offer the opportunity to try it, but even then at that point I chickened out because I'd already eaten so much that I just wasn't even hungry anyways. Sorry, I really should have tried it. I wish I would have tried it. Next time, I'll definitely try stinky tofu when I'm with friends and can safely dispose of the stinky tofu if I don't like it. Although I don't even like tofu to begin with, so I kind of don't even want to try it also. Because tofu's not healthy for you. It's just not good for you. I don't want to eat tofu. This is a picture from Rainbow Bridge next to Rauhe Street Market. Same thing. Looks pretty nice. These are the best sausages I've ever had in my life. These are like Taiwanese black sausage or something at Rauhe Street Market. Highly recommend. This was what they called Taiwanese traditional ice cream. It's like a hand-rolled ice cream. What they do is they have 3 different ice cream flavors that they roll in some type of wrap with peanut, like this like peanut brick. I don't know exactly what it is. It's like peanut and maybe some caramel or something. It's all melted together and they shave it off and they roll it with also a little bit of cilantro. And it was actually really, really good. I know it doesn't sound good, but it's really good because you have so many different textures and flavors and sensations happening. Like each bite's like a different sensation. Like, oh, you get a little freshness from cilantro. Oh, you get the sweetness from the sweetness from the ice cream. Oh, you get the softness from the wrap. Oh, you get the saltiness from the peanut. It's good. Like I had this twice while there. It was very good. I highly recommend. So this was with me with some of my Taiwanese friends that I met while there. So I have a Taiwanese coworker and she introduced me to her cousin who I met and he introduced me to his friends and we all went out and hung out together for a day and it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend going to Taiwan, especially if you meet some locals. So one of the last things we did was they took me night hiking on a mountain nearby university and we hung out and it was a great time. This is another famous dish in Taiwan. It is the pig's blood on a stick. It was actually pretty decent. By this time I was already really full, so I didn't eat much. I let them finish it off, but I had a couple bites and yeah, not bad, not bad. I would eat the pig's blood again. So my coworker's cousin gave me this Taiwanese gift bag. It had these pineapple cakes and Taiwanese tea and all sorts of things. It was an amazing gift. The following day I went hiking and then I was so hungry that I ate the entire box of pineapple cakes and Taiwanese dessert in one sitting and then went out and found a nice meat dish after that. So thank you very much, Quan, for the gift. It was great. Oh, they're so good. The whole gift bag. Picture of Taipei at night from the top of the mountain. This was the market they took me to. I don't remember the name of this one though. It's less famous than like Xinjiang and Rauhe and all that. The bros. Saw a guy walking a pig around Taipei. Is that normal? This is a better version of the chicken sesame rice dish. Very light, but good on flavor. Night view. So this was another traditional Taiwanese dish. I don't remember the name of it in Chinese or English, but it's basically pig intestine with some type of other stuff. And here is this barbecue sauce that they added to it, which they said is like a very famous flavor in Taiwan. Although there was a guy there who said that he gave it a 1 out of 5 stars. Apparently he's from the hometown of where this dish was invented from. So I thought it was good, but I mean, this is similar to the previous one. This is some type of offal, I believe, that we ate. And I don't know, I thought it was good. Again, you rated it 1 out of 5 stars, so what do I know? I'm just a foreigner. Oh, this was so good. This was squid with ramen. So I mean, these squid are like, they're long. I mean, they look big. They are big. Like, it was a huge piece of squid. So it's like, I'm shocked you get this much for how cheap it was. It was good. This is a picture of me at Jiufen Old Street. And at Jiufen Old Street, you have a lot of really nice views of the coast and the mountains. And I went hiking on I'm not really sure I'd call it a hike. It's more like a brief walk to the top of one of the mountains there and took a selfie. hiking buddy. At Jopin Old Street, I saw this in one of the shops. I thought it was a pretty dress. Someone told me that I think it's a Chinese wedding dress. Jopin Old Street early on in the day when a lot of shops were still closed. Yeah, there's a lot of Spirited Away themed stuff there. Jopin Old Street, brought to you by 7-Eleven. So it's some type of temple and decorations. I thought it looked pretty cool. It definitely looks very Asian. Side view of the temple. View on the hiking path. Coastal view nearby Jopin. More coastal views. Jopin Old Street during a more lively hour. Some beef noodle I got while at Jopin. This was pretty good. It was a lot more than I wanted because I wanted to eat a whole bunch of different things, but it was pretty good. This was a gold latte. So those little bits that you see in here, woo, 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 gold. Jopin is an old historic mining village, I think, or there's a mining facility, a gold mining facility nearby, and so like there's like gold themed shops and like you can take a tour of the gold mines, which I didn't have time for, and other things. And this place, I got a latte with actual gold in it, so not too bad. And it was still cheaper than like anything you can get at Starbucks in the US, so not too bad. Panoramic view from the top of the Jopin mountain hike. It was a beautiful area. Like I really loved looking around. And then the last place I went to was Ho Tong Cat Village, which was honestly kind of disappointing because yeah, it had some cats, but like honestly, there's far more cats in the neighborhood I live in here in the US than in this Ho Tong Cat Village. So I don't know, maybe I was kind of numb to it. I was expecting to be way more cats. Yo, Mall, signs cut. This was all the way back in Jopin. All the way back in Jopin. And last picture, of course, it's gotta be these amazing street food things. That was my trip to Taiwan. Hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.